Hello yoga friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica, and today we'll be doing a 30-minute yin yoga sequence, closing out this year and welcoming a new chapter or a new year in our lives. All you'll need today is a bolster or maybe a couch cushion or pillow, anything like that. Just put it aside for right now for later on in practice. And as always, I have a free playlist linked down below in the description box. So without further ado, let's get started in a wide knee child's pose. So bringing feet together, knees about as wide as the mat. You can go ahead and bring your forehead down onto the mat, reaching your hands towards the front of the mat. You can also incorporate your bolster here by bringing your bolster in between your legs and just laying your head down on your bolster, your choice. But as we find whatever works here for us in this child's pose, let's go ahead and flutter the eyes closed or take a soft gaze. Finding an even breath in and out through the nostrils. Breathing deep into the belly. And we'll begin our practice today by setting an intention. Anything that comes to mind is wonderful. And if nothing comes to mind, you can always use this one. I release what is no longer serving me to create space for what inspires me. I release what is no longer serving me to create space for what inspires me. And whatever intention you chose for yourself, begin to inhale that through the nose deep into the belly and open the mouth. Sigh. Exhale out anything extra you may have brought onto your mat today. Let's take that one more time. Inhaling that beautiful energy from your intention in through the nose, deep into the belly. And open the mouth. Sigh. Exhale out anything extra. And let's return to that even breath you found at the beginning of class. Knowing you can always return to your intention throughout practice and perhaps throughout the rest of your day today. We'll stay here for just a few more rounds of breath, scanning the body for any tension you can exhale. And on your next inhale, let's go ahead and walk the palms over to the right side of the mat or just off the mat. And exhale that forehead down onto the earth, really opening through that left side body here. Let's stay here for 3 rounds of breath as a transition posture. And on your next inhale, let's walk over to the left side of the mat and exhale your forehead down onto the earth, really opening through that right side this time for 3 rounds of breath. And next inhale, let's walk back to center, exhaling that forehead down onto the mat or your prop. An option to breathe here in stillness, or maybe you want to take a little third eye massage by rolling your forehead back and forth on the mat. Let's stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. And from here, we're going to come back to center with our forehead and then gently find our way onto our bellies. Bringing our elbows out to the sides of the mat, stacking our palms and letting our forehead rest on the back of our hands here. We're going to move into frog pose. So we're going to gently bend both knees here, bringing the soles of the feet toward one another. They might not reach all the way and touch, but that's okay. Also, if this feels painful at all, you can get your cushion or bolster involved by placing it on the back half of your mat. And just moving into this posture with your feet resting on that cushion. This is going to be our first real yin posture here. And we'll be holding our yin postures for a few minutes or so, allowing our minds to clear. Maybe going back to our intention, if that helps. And coming just to the edge of sensation. So you feel that opening this time in your hips, but it's not painful or too much. If you go past your edge, just come out of the posture a little bit. And we'll settle in here for frog pose. And staying here for 2 more rounds of breath. And on your next exhale, very gently straightening the legs and walking them in towards one another here. We're going to bend both knees, bringing the soles of the feet towards the sky, and gently windshield wiper the feet from side to side here. And after your next round of windshield wipers, go ahead and come back to center and straighten the legs once more onto the earth, making sure they're roughly hip-width distance apart. We're going to set up for Sphinx Pose by bringing our palms or fingertips towards the front of the mat and our elbows roughly underneath our shoulders here. For this slight and gentle back bend, we're not straining the neck here, so you'll take a nice diagonal gaze down towards the earth. Again, If you feel any pinching in your back, if you're too far into the posture, you can gently walk your hands forward, allowing that back bend to be a little bit more gentle here. And once you're settled into your Sphinx pose, go ahead and return to that beautifully even breath. Allowing any thoughts that come to mind to just float on by. And we're about halfway through this posture. And staying here for 2 more rounds of breath. And on your next exhale, gently bringing your forehead down to the mat, bringing your palms underneath your shoulders, elbows back by the sides, and inhale, press up to a tabletop position, making sure your knees are directly under your hips and wrists directly under shoulders. As our next transition posture, we're going to inhale our right arm to the sky and exhale, thread that right arm underneath the left shoulder, coming in to thread the needle, allowing that right side of the face, to come down onto the mat. An option to extend that left arm towards the front of the mat. Thread the needle. We'll stay here for just 2 more rounds of breath. And if you have that left arm extended, go ahead and bring that left palm underneath the left shoulder as we inhale that right arm up to the sky and exhale, right palm down to the mat. Inhaling the left arm up to the sky and exhale, thread that through underneath the right shoulder. Option to extend the right arm forward for thread the needle on the opposite side. 2 rounds of breath. If your right arm is extended, go ahead and bring that palm underneath the right shoulder and inhale that left arm up to the sky and exhale back down into tabletop. Let's come to rest on our bums here, sitting back, setting up for seated tree or half caterpillar. So let's extend the left leg out, flexing the left foot and bending the right knee and bringing the right sole of the foot onto the inside of the left leg. Inhaling, arms overhead, and exhale, fold over, maybe bringing your palms onto the shin or on the outside of the shin or around the ball of the foot. You can also get your cushion involved here by lounging over your cushion if you so choose. We'll be here for about a minute. Remembering just to come to the edge of sensation. And if you do feel like going a little bit further into the posture, you can do so on your exhales. And we'll stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. Now, option to stay here in the seated tree forward fold, or gently roll up the spine, bringing the right palm just behind the right hip and press up into stargazer, coming on to your right shin, gazing up towards the sky, imagining it full of stars. And on your next exhale, gently come back to your seated tree. Let's extend that right leg and just flutter out the knees. And then we're going to bend the left knee, bringing the left sole of the foot onto the inside of the right leg, setting up for seated tree or half caterpillar on the other side. Inhaling, arms overhead, making sure shoulders are down and relaxed here. And exhale, fold over that right leg. And taking 2 more rounds of breath here. An option to stay here in your forward fold. Gently roll up the spine, placing the left palm this time behind that left hip. And inhale up to stargazer. And on your next exhale, gently lowering back into your seated tree. Let's extend that left leg out and gently windshield wiper the feet from side to side. Bringing our feet back to center, we're going to grab our bolster or cushion and place it just behind our bum, setting up for supported fish pose. So in your next exhale, gently lay back onto your bolster, allowing your arms just to come out to the sides, or maybe your palms rest on your torso. Whatever feels more comfortable here in this very beautifully open posture, supported fish. You can even flutter your eyes closed. Maybe going back to your intention you set at the beginning of class. And let's settle in here. And we're about halfway through this posture. And we'll stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. And we're going to come out of this posture by gently rolling off to one side. Removing our bolster off to the side for right now and coming all the way down onto our backs. Let's inhale both knees into the chest here. Maybe gently rocking back and forth, massaging that lower back. And as our final transitional posture, we're going to allow our arms to come out to a T, and exhale those legs over to the right for a supine twist, making sure that left shoulder remains in contact with the mat. An option to gaze over the left fingertips. We'll stay here for 3 more rounds of breath. Next, inhale, bring those legs back up through center, and exhale over to the left, making sure that right shoulder remains in contact with the mat. An option to gaze over the right fingertips. 3 rounds of breath here. And on your next inhale, bring those knees back up to center. And let's move into our Shavasana, our final resting pose. Today I'm going to bring my bolster right underneath my legs and allow my legs to rest over top the bolster. This creates just a little bit of a lower back release. But you can just outstretch your legs, taking a traditional Shavasana, or finding what works for you in this moment, adjusting any clothing or hair that might be distracting, maybe grabbing a blanket if it's chilly where you are, fluttering the eyes closed if they're not there already, and scanning the body for any tension to exhale. Allowing yourself to stop being a human doing and just be a human being. I will let you know when it's time to come out of your Shavasana, but for now, simply rest. You are welcome to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like. But if you'd like to close out class with me, begin to bring awareness back to your breath, introducing some movement back into your body, maybe by wiggling your fingers and toes, rolling out the wrists and ankles, maybe taking a good morning stretch by bringing your arms overhead, or maybe bringing your knees into your chest, finding any organic movement to wake the body back up before rolling onto one side for a fetal position, keeping your knees bent, using your bottom arm as a pillow. On your next inhale, gently press up into Sukhasana, easy pose. Maybe keeping your eyes closed or in a soft gaze here, bringing hands to heart center. I want to thank you for coming to practice with me today, and I hope to see you again soon. We'll close our class with the sound of Om, inhaling through the nose deep into the belly. And bringing thumbs to third eye. May the light and love in me recognize and honor the light and love in you. Namaste.